That's almost all the work we performed during this project. So that was a 3-year project, as I already said. Now we are at the end, we are in France, and let's see what is the take-home message, what you should maybe retain of this project. First, we will see what is on the SheepNet reservoir. Tim, please.
As the previous speakers have highlighted, a lot of solutions and information has been collated, and this has now been put into a reservoir. So we have a reservoir of scientific, technical and practical knowledge to inform farmers, advisors, consultants and scientists, basically all stakeholders involved in sheep production. To summarise, there's information in there on the 19 rearing systems, 461 stakeholder questions were collected on sheep productivities, and these have been addressed with 42 solutions, of which 29 have been evaluated. 88 tips and tricks, 21 fact sheets, 3,500 scientific articles have been reviewed, 19 new research needs have been identified, and 59 innovative sheep farms have been used to evaluate the solutions. So, as we talked about earlier on, communication is critical, and without good communication, technology is of no use. This reservoir is being communicated to the wider sheep industry in the SheepNet countries. Firstly, by the use of a website. Secondly, by the use of videos. And these figures are increasing continuously. When this was put together about 4 weeks ago, we had only 80 videos. Today, there are 105 videos with 8,500 views. And one video from Ireland has 1,500 views. We have 16 press releases, 99 communication articles, many conference and workshops. We have many followers on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So, for the next few minutes, I would just like to highlight and describe some of the key solutions. And there are many more solutions on the website and in the different communication materials we put in. As John Mark said, when we're picking solutions, we pick them on practicality, we presented the scientific background, we talked about the practical benefit of implementing on your farm, and also how to do it. So, for example, body condition scoring use. We've set a target for mating at between 3.5 and 4. We've highlighted consequences of changing the ewe condition by 1 unit. It's an extra 0.1 lambs rear per ewe joint. And to increase it by 1 unit, you need an additional 12 kilos of body weight. There are diagrams here how to measure it. There are tips and tricks and solutions in using different methods for training people, and it can be done by the farmer on his farm at any stage. The second one we've highlighted today is the use of the ram effect to synchronize his flock. The potential benefit is that approximately 79 and 90% of the flock will lamb within a 2 and 3 week period respectively. How does it work? The pheromones are released from mature rams and they start the ewes to cycle. We presented a calendar on how to implement it on a practical situation. For example, when to introduce and remove the aproned rams, when to put in the fertile rams, and when you expect the peak matings. We've talked about the effect of lamb birth weight and how important it is. We've highlighted that each half kilo increase in lamb birth weight is equivalent to 1.7 kilos at weaning. We've also highlighted that lamb birth weight is a major factor affecting lamb mortality. Regardless of litter size, light lambs or lambs of low birth weight have high mortality. As you increase birth weight to the optimum, mortality declines, and as birth weight goes above the optimum, it increases again. We've identified optimum birth weight as 6 kilos for singles, 93% of that for twins, and 78% of that for triplets. And we've identified you can vary birth weight by implementing a good nutritional plan. We talked about reducing lamb mortality. You can't reduce lamb mortality if you don't know what your lamb mortality currently is. So, the tip and trick and solution is to use a paper tally. It's a record sheet. All lambs that die record them, their age at death, their symptoms, and this information enables you to develop a health plan the following year. Abortion is becoming a major issue on many farms, and this is an app that helps to manage abortion and give information of different types of abortion that may be available if you have an outbreak. We had a demonstration this morning about the importance of testing colostrum. There's a tip and trick on how to do it using the refractometer or colostromer. Ideally you do it within 4 hours of lambing. If you're freezing colostrum, it means that you'll only freeze good colostrum and not waste time freezing poor colostrum. And we've identified the importance of good quality colostrum in improving the transfer of passive immunity. This is a lambing inventory. Lambing time is probably the most stressful and busiest time of the year in a lambing flock. Advanced preparation reduces some of the stress, and ideally that each farm would draw up an inventory of materials required and have them on the farm prior to lambing commencing. As Roberto said, we've identified a lot of tips and tricks, and he's gone into them in detail, but we just ranked them from 1 to 5 the time we were in Spain. We mentioned that we had a lot of YouTube videos. It's now 104. We have videos on different things such as solutions, tips and tricks, videos of farms that we visited during the 3 years, and videos of farms' evaluations of the different solutions. And currently there are over 5,500 views of these videos, and it's growing by the day because the information is now only being communicated out there in greater detail. We've also developed 3 policy briefs for submitting to the European Commission. And these policy briefs have been on improving communication and technology transfer, support network for effective genetic networks, and a policy brief on support innovations for technologies for the sheep sector. As we've mentioned, there's been a lot of communication about SheepNet within the SheepNet countries, but also outside of the SheepNet countries. For example, SheepNet has been communicated in Brussels, Lisbon, Dubrovnik, Washington, and Tallinn. So many countries, and also Canada, New Zealand, and Australia.